Why are so many people over 60 unintentionally losing muscle even when they think they are eating enough and exercising a little? Why does muscle mass tend to vanish faster than fat? And why does that accelerate metabolic decline, fatigue, insulin resistance, and disease risk? Here is a surprising fact. By the time someone is in their 60s or 70s, they may lose between 10 to 15% of their muscle mass each decade if no intervention is taken. This isn't simply getting older. It is a metabolic collapse, a stealth disease of aging that undercuts energy, vitality, and longevity. If you are over 60 or heading there and worried about weakness, slower metabolism, or the risk of frailty, today's talk is for you. Because the good news is you can reverse muscle loss, not fully overnight, but in meaningful, measurable ways and naturally, without extreme drugs or gimmicks. In this talk, I want to challenge a few old assumptions. One is that eggs are the only good protein for aging adults. Another is that animal protein is always superior. There's a vegetable, yes, a plant that may outrank eggs in certain contexts when it comes to muscle supportive benefits, and when combined with the right hormonal, metabolic, and lifestyle context, it becomes a powerful tool in your anti-aging toolkit. Here is what we will explore together. What is really going on inside your body as you age, how hormonal changes, insulin resistance, mitochondrial decline, inflammation, and muscle signaling resistance all conspire to sabotage muscle. The 6 science-backed insights that turn the conventional approach upside down, insights that are powerful, but often overlooked. How to apply these in real life. The precise foods, timing, movement, and mindset shifts that tilt your body from muscle losing to muscle regaining. Why this matters not just for aesthetics, but for vitality, metabolic health, quality of life, and longevity. If this is helpful so far, consider subscribing. I post content like this every day, and you do not want to miss what's coming. Here is what is really going on inside your body as you age. Muscle loss is not caused by age itself, it is caused by what age does to your metabolism. Your muscle tissue is a living organ. It responds to hormonal signals, nutrient delivery, and mitochondrial energy production. When those systems slow down, your body does not forget how to build muscle. It simply stops receiving the right instructions to do it. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your muscles are like a construction site. You have the workers, the tools, and the materials ready. But over time, the radio signals that tell the workers what to build become weaker and distorted. The materials arrive late. The energy supply cuts out every few hours. The result is that construction slows down not because the workers got old, but because the signals and resources stopped coming in clearly. That is what happens inside your muscle tissue after 60. Your body's muscle-building signal is called muscle protein synthesis, and it depends on 3 key things: insulin sensitivity, hormonal balance, and mitochondrial energy. When insulin resistance develops, often from years of high carbohydrate eating, stress, poor sleep, or inflammation, your muscles stop responding efficiently to the insulin signal that normally drives amino acids into the muscle cells. Instead, that insulin ends up storing more fat, especially around the liver and abdomen. Research shows that people over 60 with higher insulin resistance have up to 30% lower rates of muscle protein synthesis, even with identical protein intake compared to insulin-sensitive adults. That means if your body is resistant to insulin, it does not matter how much chicken, fish, or eggs you eat. Those amino acids will not be converted into new muscle efficiently. Now, combine that with declining testosterone and growth hormone levels, a reduction in mitochondrial density, and chronic inflammation, and you have the perfect storm for sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss. This process is not a simple aging problem. It is a metabolic signaling problem. But here is the encouraging truth. These signals can be restored. When you improve insulin sensitivity, reduce inflammation, and re-energize your mitochondria, your muscle starts to respond again, even at 70 or 80. Studies from the Journal of Gerontology and Frontiers in Physiology have shown that older adults can double their muscle-building response simply by improving metabolic health, not by increasing protein. So what does this mean practically? It means you need to think beyond more protein and start thinking better metabolism. Start by addressing 3 areas. Number 1, clean up your carbohydrate intake. Lowering refined sugars, bread, and processed grains reduces insulin resistance and inflammation. Number 2, add short fasting windows. A 12 to 16-hour overnight fast gives your mitochondria a chance to repair and resensitize your cells to insulin. Number 3, support your mitochondria. Nutrients like coenzyme Q10, alpha-lipoic acid, magnesium, and omega-3 fatty acids can restore energy production inside muscle cells. When you make these changes, you start to reopen the radio channel between your brain, your hormones, and your muscles. And once that signal is back on, even light resistance training and moderate protein intake start working again. If this is helpful so far, consider subscribing. I share science-based tools like this every day to help you rebuild strength, energy, and longevity naturally. Now that you understand the true root cause of muscle loss, let us move to insight number 2. Why protein alone will not rebuild your muscle unless your body knows how to use it. Most people are told, just eat more protein. It sounds simple, but for millions of people over 60, that advice does not work. They increase their protein intake, sometimes adding shakes, eggs, and meats, yet their muscle mass barely changes. Why? Because eating protein is not the same as using protein. Let us look inside your body to understand why. When you eat protein, it is broken down into amino acids, the building blocks of muscle. Those amino acids must then travel through your bloodstream, reach your muscle tissue, and enter your cells where they are used to rebuild fibers. This process is known as muscle protein synthesis. But here is the problem. If your digestive system, liver, or mitochondria are sluggish, those amino acids are never fully converted into new muscle tissue. Imagine your body as a factory. You can bring in all the raw materials you want, but if the factory workers are exhausted and the power supply is inconsistent, production will stall. That is what happens when your metabolism is inefficient. You might be feeding your body premium ingredients, but the machinery to process them is operating at half capacity. One of the most overlooked players here is the liver. Your liver acts as the central processing plant for amino acids. It converts certain amino acids into glucose for energy, others into hormones or enzymes, and some into the building blocks for new muscle fibers. If the liver is overloaded with fat, alcohol residues, or toxins from processed foods, its ability to process amino acids drops dramatically. A 2022 study in clinical nutrition found that older adults with fatty liver disease had 40% lower muscle mass compared to those with healthy livers even with similar diets. The researchers concluded that poor liver metabolism was a primary bottleneck in amino acid utilization. Then there is the gut. As we age, stomach acid production often declines, which impairs protein digestion. Without enough acid, protein is not fully broken down into amino acids, meaning much of what you eat never becomes bioavailable. Low stomach acid can also increase bloating and nutrient malabsorption, both of which make you feel full before you have actually absorbed what your body needs. So, to make protein work, you must support your digestion, your liver, and your cellular energy systems. Here are 3 practical steps you can begin today. Number 1. Support your digestion. If you experience bloating or fullness after protein meals, consider using apple cider vinegar or digestive enzymes with hydrochloric acid to help break down protein more effectively. Eat slowly and chew thoroughly to stimulate stomach acid and enzyme release. Number 2. Heal your liver. Reduce alcohol, seed oils, and refined carbohydrates. Add liver-supportive foods like leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables, turmeric, and lemon water. These help the liver clear fat and toxins, improving amino acid metabolism. Number 3. Strengthen your mitochondria. Mitochondria are where your cells turn amino acids into usable energy for repair. Walking daily, doing light resistance exercise, and consuming nutrients like coenzyme Q10 and alpha-lipoic acid enhance this process. What the research shows is that when older adults improve their metabolic environment, their muscle growth doubles even with the same amount of protein intake. The secret is not more protein, it is better utilization. So, before you focus on adding protein powders or more eggs, first optimize how your body digests, processes, and uses that protein. because once your metabolic machinery is restored, even smaller protein doses create a big impact. In the next section, we will uncover a fascinating truth. There is one vegetable that can outperform eggs in protein quality and metabolic benefit, especially for people over 60. This may surprise you. Now let us talk about something that might surprise you. When people think of high-quality protein, the first foods that come to mind are eggs, meat, and fish. For decades, eggs were called the gold standard of protein because they contain all 9 essential amino acids. But here is what the newer research reveals: certain vegetables, when consumed in the right form and combination, can rival or even outperform eggs in terms of usable protein and cellular benefit, especially for adults over 60. So which vegetable are we talking about? It is spinach, yes, that humble green leaf that most people overlook. Spinach is not only rich in plant-based protein, but also contains natural compounds called phytoecdystoroids, which have been shown to stimulate muscle growth pathways similar to how anabolic signals work in the human body. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Nutrition and Metabolism demonstrated that adults who consumed spinach extract daily for 10 weeks gained significant lean muscle mass and strength, compared to those who did not, even though their protein intake from other sources remained constant. The researchers found that phytoecdystoroids in spinach enhance muscle protein synthesis by activating a signaling pathway known as PI3K-ACT, which is the same pathway triggered by resistance training and certain hormones. Let me explain this in simple terms. Think of your muscle cells as a construction site again. Eggs might bring in the best building materials, but spinach brings in the foreman, the signal that tells your workers to start building. Without that signal, even high-quality materials sit unused. That is why older adults often fail to build muscle on high-protein diets alone. Their signaling pathways have become sluggish, and spinach helps wake them up. But there is more. Spinach is also loaded with nitrate compounds, which convert into nitric oxide in the body. Nitric oxide improves blood flow, oxygen delivery, and nutrient transport to muscle tissue. That means the amino acids you consume from eggs, meat, or plants reach your muscle fibers more efficiently. Beyond spinach, other green vegetables such as broccoli, kale, and watercress contain similar plant proteins and compounds that work synergistically with your body's muscle-building mechanisms. When you combine these greens with clean sources of protein and proper metabolic health, your muscle growth potential multiplies. Here is how you can practically use this in your daily life. Number 1. Add 1 to 2 cups of spinach or other leafy greens daily. Lightly steam or sauté them in olive oil or ghee to preserve their nutrients and enhance absorption of fat-soluble compounds. Number 2. Pair greens with protein. Combine spinach with eggs, fish, or legumes in your meals. This creates a balanced amino acid profile and activates muscle-building pathways more effectively. Number 3. Use plant diversity. Rotate between spinach, kale, broccoli, and moringa powder. Each provides unique phytonutrients that support liver detoxification, reduce inflammation, and stimulate nitric oxide production. Number 4. Support absorption. Add a squeeze of lemon or vinegar to your greens. The acidity enhances mineral and amino acid uptake, helping your body use every bit of protein you consume. If this is resonating with you, consider subscribing. I post new science-based strategies every day to help you rebuild your strength and longevity naturally. Now that we have covered the nutritional side, let us shift to the next foundation movement. In Section 4, we will explore why resistance training alone is not enough, and how to train your metabolism along with your muscles for true anti-aging results. When most people think about reversing muscle loss, they immediately picture lifting weights. Resistance training is powerful, yes, but it is not the whole answer. Many adults over 60 are faithfully exercising, walking, and even using dumbbells, yet their muscle mass and strength barely change. That is because building muscle at this stage of life is not just about training the muscle, it is about training the metabolism that supports the muscle. Here is what is really happening inside your body. When you exercise, your muscle fibers send signals that tell your body, we need to grow, repair, and strengthen. But those signals must pass through a network of hormonal, mitochondrial, and nutritional pathways to produce results. If those pathways are blocked by insulin resistance, cortisol imbalance, or chronic inflammation, then your exercise signal never fully translates into new muscle tissue. Think of it like sending a message through a clogged pipe. The message leaves the brain, but by the time it reaches the muscle, it has lost its strength. That is why older adults often experience what scientists call anabolic resistance, a reduced ability of muscle to respond to exercise or protein intake. A 2021 study in the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia, and Muscle showed that even when older adults performed identical resistance training as younger adults, their muscle growth response was significantly lower unless they first improved their insulin sensitivity and reduced inflammation. The researchers found that exercise was up to 40% more effective when combined with metabolic interventions such as time-restricted eating and anti-inflammatory diets. So, if you are exercising consistently but not seeing results, it may not be your workout, it is your internal environment. To build muscle efficiently after 60, your metabolic foundation must be in harmony with your training routine. Here is how you can align them. Number 1. Train in a fasted state, but refuel properly. Exercising after a 12-hour fast increases growth hormone and mobilizes fat for fuel. After your workout, consume a meal rich in both protein and green vegetables within 30 to 60 minutes. This timing helps direct amino acids into muscle repair instead of fat storage. Number 2. Focus on short, intense resistance sessions rather than long cardio workouts. Cardio is beneficial for the heart, but excessive cardio can increase cortisol and slow muscle recovery. Aim for 3 to 4 strength sessions per week, lasting 20 to 30 minutes. Number 3. Prioritize recovery as much as training. Muscle does not grow during the workout. It grows during recovery. Sleep, hydration, and magnesium intake are crucial. Magnesium, in particular, supports hundreds of enzymatic reactions, including those involved in protein synthesis. Number 4. Balance stress hormones. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, which directly breaks down muscle tissue. Simple daily habits like deep breathing, gentle stretching, and evening walks help regulate cortisol and improve muscle repair. When you start training your metabolism in addition to your muscles, you shift from working hard to working smart. Your workouts begin to create visible, measurable changes because your body can finally respond to the stimulus. Here is a simple whiteboard analogy. Imagine 2 people doing the same workout. Person A's metabolism is sluggish, insulin-resistant, inflamed, and undernourished. Person B has improved insulin sensitivity, clean nutrition, and steady hormones. After 1 month, Person A feels tired and sees no progress. Person B looks and feels stronger. The difference is not effort, it is the metabolic context. In the next section, we will take this even further. Section 5 will focus on how timing when you eat, fast, and move can dramatically change how efficiently your body builds and protects muscle after 60. One of the most underestimated aspects of rebuilding muscle after 60 is not what you eat or how you train, it is when you do both. Timing acts as the hidden amplifier of everything you are already doing right. When you align your meals, fasting windows, and movement with your body's biological clock, your hormones, digestion, and muscle recovery work together in harmony instead of conflict. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your metabolism as a symphony orchestra. Each section, your hormones, mitochondria, and digestion, has its own rhythm. When they play at the right time, the music is powerful and smooth. But if one section plays too early or too late, everything becomes chaotic. That is what happens when your eating and movement are out of sync with your circadian rhythm. Your body's natural clock controls nearly every process related to muscle growth and energy. Cortisol, insulin, and growth hormone all fluctuate across the day. Cortisol peaks in the morning to help you wake up and mobilize energy. Insulin sensitivity is highest between morning and early afternoon, meaning that is when your body handles nutrients most effectively. Growth hormone and repair signals, on the other hand, rise at night while you sleep. Here is what this means in practical terms. If you eat late at night, your insulin levels stay elevated when your body is trying to rest and repair. This not only interferes with fat burning, but also reduces the release of growth hormone, which is essential for muscle maintenance. Conversely, when you align your meals earlier in the day, your body can switch into recovery mode more efficiently during sleep. A 2020 study in Cell Metabolism found that adults who practiced early time-restricted eating, finishing their last meal by 3 in the afternoon, showed significantly better muscle insulin sensitivity and mitochondrial function than those who ate over a 12-hour window. Interestingly, they did not eat fewer calories. They simply ate earlier. So how can you apply this? Number 1. Start your eating window within 1 to 2 hours of waking. Your first meal sets the tone for your circadian rhythm and balances cortisol. Include protein and greens to stabilize blood sugar and support muscle maintenance. Number 2. Finish eating earlier. Aim to complete your last meal at least 3 hours before bedtime. This gives your body time to lower insulin and switch into repair mode overnight. Number 3. Time your workouts strategically. Resistance training in the late morning or early afternoon often yields the best results for muscle building because insulin sensitivity and body temperature are both higher, improving strength and recovery. If you prefer evening workouts, keep them moderate and follow them with a lighter meal rich in greens and omega-3 fats. Number 4. Respect the overnight fast. Fasting 12 to 16 hours overnight allows your mitochondria to reset and your growth hormone to rise. Even short fasts improve muscle preservation by enhancing autophagy, the cellular cleanup process that removes damaged proteins and makes room for stronger fibers. Number 5. Protect your sleep. Deep sleep is when muscle repair truly happens. Aim for 7 to 8 hours per night and keep your room dark, cool, and quiet. Avoid caffeine after noon and heavy meals late in the evening. Here is what the research shows. Older adults who combine early eating, short fasting windows, and consistent sleep schedules have higher lean body mass and lower inflammation compared to those who eat erratically. The body thrives on rhythm. So, if you have been eating healthy and exercising but not seeing progress, it may not be what you are doing, it may be when you are doing it. If this insight resonates with you, consider subscribing. I share practical, science-based strategies every day to help you align your metabolism and muscle health with your body's natural rhythm. In our next section, we will go deeper into what truly sustains long-term muscle strength, not just protein or exercise, but the inner health of your mitochondria, liver, and hormones. Section 6. Muscle longevity begins inside. By now, you understand that reversing muscle loss after 60 is not only about lifting weights or eating more protein. It is about restoring your inner machinery. The true foundation of muscle longevity lives deep within your cells, in the powerhouses called mitochondria, the detox and conversion center known as the liver, and the hormonal network that governs how efficiently your body uses energy and repairs itself. Let us begin with the mitochondria, the engines that power every movement you make. Mitochondria convert nutrients into ATP, the energy currency of life. But with age, oxidative stress, poor diet, and inactivity cause these engines to weaken and multiply less effectively. When your mitochondria slow down, every system connected to them slows down as well. Muscle repair, fat metabolism, and even brain function. A 2021 paper in Nature Metabolism demonstrated that mitochondrial dysfunction is one of the earliest markers of sarcopenia, even before visible muscle loss begins. Researchers found that older adults with strong mitochondrial function maintained higher muscle density and strength, regardless of chronological age. That means your biological age, how your cells are functioning, matters more than your calendar age. The question then becomes, how do we repair and regenerate these energy factories? You can activate mitochondrial renewal through 3 powerful strategies. Number 1, movement with intensity variation. Short bursts of activity, like brisk walking or resistance training, signal your body to create new mitochondria, a process known as mitochondrial biogenesis. Think of it as upgrading your cell engines every time you move. Number 2, nutrient density over calorie quantity. Foods rich in antioxidants such as leafy greens, berries, turmeric, and green tea protect mitochondria from oxidative damage. Nutrients like coenzyme Q10, alpha-lipoic acid, L-carnitine, and magnesium directly support mitochondrial energy production. Number 3, controlled fasting. Fasting triggers autophagy, the body's cellular cleanup system. This process clears out damaged mitochondria and encourages new ones to form. Even a 12 to 16-hour fast can make a measurable difference in mitochondrial health. Now let us turn to your liver. The liver does far more than filter toxins. It regulates metabolism, balances hormones, and converts nutrients into forms your muscles can use. When the liver becomes congested with fat, sugar, or toxins, your entire metabolism slows. Amino acids are not efficiently processed, hormones become imbalanced, and fat burning stalls. A study in hepatology research found that people over 60 with a fatty liver had nearly 50% lower muscle density than those with a healthy liver. Once liver function improved, muscle recovery accelerated dramatically even without major dietary changes. To keep your liver working like a clean engine, limit refined carbohydrates and alcohol. Support it with cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and cauliflower. Include bitter foods such as dandelion greens and lemon water to stimulate bile flow, which enhances detoxification and fat metabolism. Finally, we come to hormones, the silent drivers of muscle longevity. Testosterone, growth hormone, and DHEA all decline naturally with age, but lifestyle has a powerful influence on how sharp that decline becomes. Strength training, fasting, high-quality sleep, and healthy fats from olive oil, avocados, and fish all support natural hormone production. Chronic stress and lack of recovery, on the other hand, suppress it. So if you are struggling to gain muscle, it may not be a lack of effort. It may be that your inner systems are running on low power. The good news is that every one of these systems can be revived naturally. Your mitochondria can regenerate. Your liver can clear and renew. Your hormones can rebalance through lifestyle. Here is the key message. Real muscle longevity begins inside. When your internal environment is clean, energetic, and hormonally balanced, your body can build and maintain strong muscle effortlessly no matter your age. If this has been valuable so far, consider subscribing. I share new science-backed strategies each day to help you rebuild health from the inside out. Now, as we close, let us tie everything together. In the conclusion, we will recap the 6 insights and lay out a simple daily roadmap you can begin using right now to reverse muscle loss naturally and regain lasting strength after 60. Let us bring everything together. You now understand that muscle loss after 60 is not simply an unavoidable part of aging. It is a metabolic issue, one that can be reversed when you restore the internal signals that tell your body how to build, repair, and thrive.